Hi, I'm Elizabeth Dawson, and thank you so much for joining us this week for Ways to Love Your Money, our podcast here in San Diego. One of the things that we want to talk about today is that it's been 100 days since the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus as an outbreak and a pandemic. So that's created a lot of unrest. It's created a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of uncertainty. People are working from home or staying at home or caring for older people in their family, maybe even a parent. So they're even saying now for grandchildren to go out there to do the grocery shopping for mom and dad, and then also for grandparents. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And another piece that we want to have here too, job uncertainty. So with the increased financial pressure and job insecurity, many consumers will redistribute their spending or saving in certain areas. So we got to a place where the world was starting to reopen and we're getting excited. Consumer spending started to go up. And we were, the stimulus was helping quite a few people, and it was basically circulating the economy, which is a great thing. But now we are having record numbers each and every day in the United States being reported. So just as of yesterday, and this is June 28th, 2020, 40,691 cases were reported of new coronavirus people that have contracted the virus. So where does that put us? What are we looking at from a financial situation? So some of the topics that we wanted to bring up were, the situation last week with the markets, which were great indicators. So U.S. retail sales jumped by 17.7% in May. That was completely unpredicted. Sales of auto dealers at auto dealers soared about 44%. This is excluding cars. Overall retail sales, and it increased by 12.4%. Those are interesting factors, right? So one thing I know, and I saw this morning, is that 97% of all the summer travel this year in the United States is going to be on the road. So gas prices, the average price of gas across the country was $2.17. That's what they said this morning. And if you're in San Diego, that's a little bit different number, or California altogether. But people are going to be taking more road trips. So what does this mean for you? Shore up your career situation. Make sure that you're doing the best that you can to make sure that your job is secure. And if you're not in a job at this point, don't think that there are not job opportunities out there. Start interviewing, start getting your resume out there, start doing things, take action. Now's the time to get massive action out there. And in addition to that, if you are still on unemployment, there's been an extension of benefits. I saw some news recently over the weekend that was talking about new stimulus package money coming out. So there might be some things out there for certain demographics of people that they'll get some monies, which is great. So we just have to take it into reality, though. Eventually what's going to happen for us in our future is that things are going to become more and more expensive. I saw some family members over the weekend, and they had told me, gosh, everything at the grocery store is so expensive. Well, wow, how expensive is it? That's what we call inflation. You'll see sometimes on social media, you'll see it on the internet, you'll look for it, but the cost of goods sold. So back in the 1940s, a big basket of food, maybe you used it for $100, you got a big basket of food. Maybe in the 1970s, you got a little bit lesser, grocery cart of food. But now we're here in 2020 and there's very few pieces of groceries in that same cart of goods. So the cost of inflation is increasing, the cost of goods sold is increasing. How are you going to prepare for that? Eventually we're going to have to make more money to pay for all these things. And additionally, with all the stimulus that's going out there, we're going to have higher taxes to start repaying the government, because our national deficit is just growing by leaps and bounds. It's helping us right now, but for long term, how is it going to be taken care of? Pretty much by us, by our children, by our grandchildren, or our great-grandchildren. And we don't necessarily want them to inherit that, but it's probably in an unavoidable situation. This is a global pandemic. This is not just the United States. So how do we prepare ourselves? Now is the time that we should probably be looking at our cash flow, differentiating the importance of savings, differentiating the importance of what you're spending money on. Are you liquid? Do you have that emergency fund ready to go? Do you have the resources in the event that maybe you might lose your job to be able to pay your rent or pay your mortgage or pay your fixed expenses for 6 months or more? Now is the time to do this. I've talked to people over the last several months, the last 4 months to be exact, When we went through a financial crisis, basically back in 2008, all lines of credit were pretty much shut down. We're starting to hear that most banks aren't even doing lines of credit right now. So the next to come is that those lines of credit will more than likely close. Bankruptcies are ticking up. This is an indicator. People can't afford to pay things, so therefore we're going to actually start to have people lose homes into foreclosures. These are the scary facts. But if we're prepared and we look at it and we maybe talk to a financial professional or a tax professional or someone that can actually help them have a better relationship with where their finances are, now is probably the most important time of your life that you would actually need to invest in that. So scary topics, but at the same time, if you know how to ask the questions, or even if you don't, if you're humble enough to ask for the help, there are people out there that can help you. I hope this kind of says something to you and you have an opportunity to reach out to people. If you'd like to reach out to us, we'll be happy to talk to you about your personal financial economics, because it's not about the world's economics or the country's, it's about yours. And how successful are you running your personal economics or your family business or you from a family entity standpoint? Again, reach out, 619-640-2622. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to see if there's anything we can do to help or even direct you to where you can get some better help. All right, take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.